What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of B is for Build. In today's episode, we're taking the GTR out for the first time. It's shakedown time. The car's ready to roll. Well, we're making some small adjustments right now. The car's ready to roll. We're gonna get it outside, give it a good shakedown, see how it does, and then we're gonna do some maintenance stuff to prepare it for the big road trip. Stay tuned. Before we push this car, drive the car out of the shop, I want to take a second out to thank our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by Skillshare. You guys have heard me talk about Skillshare before. Skillshare is an online learning community with more than 26,000 classes in design and business and a lot more. I personally have checked out their courses on user experience design and different coding languages just to brush up on some skills. I've been out of the game for a little bit, as well as videography, cinematography, and storyboarding to try and make the YouTube channel a little bit better. Skillshare's premium membership gives you unlimited access to the site and all the different classes, so you can browse around and check out different classes and communities and find the ones that are right for you to help you reach your goals. I personally am a really big fan of this type of learning model. I think the old college type of learning stuff is just a little bit outdated. They're saying nowadays with how fast automation is taking over and job fields are changing that we're going to be changing our career paths more than ever. And I know that because at 30 I've changed mine like 3 different times. So I think it's really important to learn how to learn and know where you can get good resources to continue learning, and I think that's exactly where Skillshare comes in. So join the 7 million people learning on Skillshare right now, and the first 500 of you guys that click the link in the description will get a 2-month free trial, which is pretty awesome, and then your annual subscription starts at just 10 bucks a month after that. So get out there, go learn something, follow your goals. If you want to be a designer, they got courses on that. You want to be a programmer? Oh, my catchphrase for Skillshare: stop playing Fortnite and learn how to make Fortnite. But now that Fortnite's dead, stop playing Apex Legends and learn how to make Apex Legends on Skillshare today. No joke, it's 100% possible. All right, down to work. We're just finalizing some ride height adjustments right now, and then we're gonna go ahead and get the car kind of in the right direction, get it outside, and I'm gonna jump into the Cobb tuner and check how our air fuel ratios and stuff like that are going. Well, we did not get the car out of the shop on time. We missed our alignment appointment, and I can't even drive the car right now. So I started playing with the Cobb access port. I am extremely unfamiliar with this. As I was learning, I was messaging my friend Jared over at Speed for Sale, and he's been walking me through it, and he let me know that the car seemingly does not even have a tune on it anymore. So he was saying it's not gonna drive well. We definitely have upgraded injectors like the previous owner said. So it's either one of two things. Either the car has a tune on it still and the Cobb isn't accessing it or realizing it, or the tune was uninstalled for some reason or another, and when he took the access port off, and it's no longer on the car, so the car would be back to stock ECU, which with giant injectors, bigger intakes, and free-flowing exhaust, we'd be in trouble there. So I'm working with Jared now, and we're gonna see what we can get on this access port and load it up onto the car, so we can at least get it out on the streets today, and I've rescheduled my alignment appointment for tomorrow. We've got progress. Thanks to Jared helping me out, I got that thing connected to a computer. I found the old map that was developed for this car that was pushing 650 to the wheels, and I got it, well, it was already on there, so I identified which one it was, and now we're loading it back onto the car. All right, tunes are loaded, we're ready to roll. Let's get on the street for the first time. Give it a shakedown. Brake check, brakes are working. All right, guys, we are on our first shakedown, first time driving the car around. Using our good old Oregon law about registration and what did they call it? Test driving race cars, which is exactly what we're doing. We happen to be at a red light and now it's green, so let's all-wheel drive burnout. We hit traction control in every single gear. We didn't go that fast, but we burned out in every single gear. Interesting. Snow tires might be a lot worse than I thought. We just remembered we forgot a fire extinguisher, so we're gonna head back to the shop. We'll turn on the data logging, grab a fire extinguisher, just check under the hood now that the engine's up to temp and just make sure things are fine. We're smelling some hot stuff, but that's probably because we have a brand new titanium exhaust system on here, and every time you get a new exhaust system like up to temp and stuff, you're gonna smell a lot of different weird things. All right, we took a look at some more stuff. These shakedowns are a lot more technical these days than they used to be. I guess as the car gets a little bit more expensive, it's not just running over speed. Well, it is already running over speed bumps. We need new wiper blades. The door handle doesn't work on the inside. We figured that out. So, but I want to try and get this thing actually into boost. We really haven't got it into boost. So I'm data logging right now, and then I'm gonna wait for a very large break in the traffic, and we'll get it into boost a little bit. All right. Second gear all-wheel drive burnout. Okay. It's rush hour traffic right now. There are too many cars on the road, and this thing has too much horsepower. I honestly, like, fast cars are fun and all that, but when they get really fast like this, it just gets to a level of kind of being reckless. Like, I'll look at the data log and see the throttle percentage there, but that wasn't even 100% throttle, and we were sitting there in second gear, and you guys just saw the car go sideways. So, it's fantastic, but this is just not the place to test something like this. And we've got work to do. Let's head back to the shop. I think we need to continue doing some work. The car's running great. The car is running great. That's all we figured out so far, and there's some stuff that we need to work on. So, yeah, let's do that. Back inside the house, looking at the computer, I want to show you guys some of our data logs. So this one right up here is engine RPM. What we have right here is short-term fuel trim, and then this was our throttle position. So right here is where I floored it. Didn't even really floor it. Got to at max 60% throttle position, about 4,800 RPMs, and that's when all the tires broke loose. So not really even able to get full throttle on the streets out here. Our fuel trims are looking good, so it's either got a little extra fuel or it's fine. So it's not running out of fuel, which is good. That's on the safe side. So the shakedown, as far as the engine and the tune, I'm feeling very safe and very confident about this. The car could probably either use a full-on tune, or I don't know, we could just throw it on a dyno and see how it does. That'd probably be a little bit more fun. It's running great. I just obviously can't get all the way into it right now. Fast forward a couple hours later, and we had to do a lot of stuff on the tuning side of the world and software stuff to make sure that we're gonna have a reliable drive. If you guys don't know, so we're gonna do a shakedown right here, and then we're planning on driving this 1,000 miles down to Disneyland. That is kind of the benchmark test for any B is for build, where we plan on doing a collab with TJ. He may come down with his Ferrari to get smoked, but he might not. But either way, I'm going to Disneyland, so win-win. Anyways, so we gotta move on. We gotta keep doing our stuff. And painting side skirts, they need to be painted. I'm gonna repaint this trim rail right here because there's some lineage right here where when I bent over to paint the roof, I accidentally smudged it. So I'm gonna pull that off. We got both the side skirts off that need a bit of a repair, and let's get those set up in the paint booth and prep for paint. All right, I got the panels sanded up and cleaned up and looking good, and then I applied adhesion promoter to the main sections of them where we're gonna be painting. So that's hopefully gonna stop from having any weird reactions. The next thing I'm gonna do, I got some primer already mixed up, and we're gonna go ahead and spray it on these things. Luckily, we didn't have any crazy reactions so far, and we got the primer down. Now, this is a sealer primer, so it should help seal out any crazy reactions from happening, and we're using the same brand paint, so it should lay down on top of this nicely, and we should be good to go. So I've got the that trim railing masked up, set on its own heater. You can see that I got a heater under there too. I'm not messing around with the heat anymore. It's so cold outside. It was snowing earlier today, so I just got to keep these panels warm so the paint dries, you know, at a reasonable speed. So anyways, next step, base coat, mid coat, clear coat. It's a new morning, wake up. Panels are painted. Success, full paint job. One thing I did learn about though, kind of the hard way, if you got your panels like real close to a heating element, like how we had the heater under here and we had that one sitting on a heater, as you get some paint stacked up on there, if you're blowing super cold air over the panel, like I was when we were laying our last layer of clear coat, you can get weird reactions because you're spraying like freezing cold air onto a panel that has somewhat wet paint, and that panel is, you know, 70 or 75 degrees. It's a shock to the paint and it can cause some stuff, but luckily I was able to kind of cool the panels back down and then lay more clear coat, and it self-leveled out. So we're not gonna have that problem. We're not gonna have the craziness that we saw, but just something to keep in mind if you're DIY painting like I am and you're dealing with some cold conditions. Okay, so we got 2 side skirts and we got our thing. Let's get them all back into the shop and focus on more important stuff like an oil change. So I'm getting started on the oil change. It's super simple on this car. The drain plug and the filter location are both on the bottom of the car, underneath the skid pan. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drain the oil, remove the filter, lubricate the new filter, put a little bit of oil in it, throw that back on there. And then you also need a new drain plug washer, which I got from Nissan. Go ahead and install that, and then we'll be topping it up. And while I'm working on that, Kyle's gonna work on the door. When you guys saw during the shakedown, we had an issue where this handle didn't seem to be doing anything. So Kyle's gonna jump into that and figure out why that's happening and fix it. All right, Kyle got the door all fixed up. It was the cabling came undone, probably when we were messing with the inner door paneling. Those push pins on those inner door panels, man, they come out like way too easily. It's crazy. We got the new filter in, we got the drain plug put back in. It's time to fill up the car with oil, and for that we're gonna be using Motool's 5W40. Huge shout out and thanks to Motool for hooking us up on this build. They hooked us up with our brake fluid, trans fluid, and oil fluid. Engine oil, engine fluid? Engine fluid. No, gas is the engine fluid. Engine lubricant. Anyways, let's go ahead and fill it up. All right, oil change done. Now, when we were out on our drive, we were on a stock transmission tune, and this car's transmission stock just drives like crap. It's super, super annoying. It just tries to get you into 6th gear as fast as you can. So you'll be going 30 miles an hour down a city street in 6th gear. It's just super, super lame. So I was talking with Jared over at Speed for Sale, and you have the ability to reprogram the transmission control unit, but to do that I needed my Cobb access port upgraded, and Cobb was kind enough to hook me up with that upgrade to be able to reprogram my transmission. So thanks to both of those guys. Thanks to Cobb for helping us out, and I'll put a link in the description. That's very, very nice of them. So we're gonna go ahead now and turn on the car, and we're gonna flash it with the new transmission tune from Jared. He's a bit of a transmission wizard on GTR, so I'm pretty excited to see how this drives with the new trans tune. All right, that little message there means that our new TCM map is on and we're good to drive. So let's wrap up the body. I think that's all we got to do. We're going to put this this top trim piece on, and we're going to install our side skirts and then button down our wide body kit to our side skirts. All right, side skirts are installed, body kit is buttoned back up. The other one's more impressive because of the damage that it went through, but you could not tell from looking at it from here that it kind of just ends right about here. But they are firmly attached to the car, bunch of bolts from underneath. It all just came together really, really nicely, so I'm excited. Got a few things left to do. When we installed our rear window glass, we didn't plug it in. Kyle's gonna work on pulling the trim pieces back and plugging in our rear window glass. I'm gonna come over to this door. I had a painting failure on this door, a long time back. Runs are very hard to see and clear, but when I show you like this, you could probably see them. This is where I was testing doing some wet sanding. So this is what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and clean this door up really well, wet sand these runs down, and then we're gonna polish the clear back up, and it'll look like the rest of the panel. Like I never made a painting mistake. When you do make a mistake in the run, you just want to give the car time for the clear coat to kind of cure up and harden up before you start sanding into it, and you'll get the best results that way. That's why they tell you not to polish your car right away or color sand it. Anyways, clean the door, plug in the rear window, let's go for another drive. We've got a shiny door. Let's get the car off the jacks, get it outside, take it for shakedown round 2. And we got a red light, which means we're gonna get a green light. All right, manual mode. We're gonna have some fun and launch the car. We're on our way to get some gas, but car's warmed up. We got a green light in front of us. We're allowed to go like 50 miles an hour or something. Is awesome. We definitely burned out when we hit second gear, and I'm not sure about any of the ones after that. Such a cool car, man. Wow. That is like a really like a hang-on tight experience. That's so cool. I love the sounds of this car. It's just like mental. Yeah. We do have to keep in mind that we're driving around with no registration. Plenty of insurance, 0 registration. But in the state of Oregon, like you guys know, it's legal, kind of, as long as we're on a test drive and it's a race car, which
I would qualify that.
Calling it good. Another cool thing in Oregon, we don't have to pump our own gas. People do it for us. It's nice. Well, after our upgraded tune for our transmission, it needed to relearn the gears, and I accidentally hit the button while we were still at the gas station, and now I can't move the car, so we might be here for a little bit. It says it takes a few minutes. Basically, I only got one more fun thing I want to do on this shakedown lap. Oh, first we'll do a driveway test. Our front lip is a little bit high, guys, but that's because this is a car I'm planning on daily driving, and I really want to be able to get in and out of driveways without stressing about it, so we left it a little high. I'm looking to buy something that will be something kind of intermediary rather than using the stock one, which is about 2.5 to 3 inches thick. I'm looking to buy one that's like 1.5 inches thick, and then we'll add our metal, kind of get a little bit of an in-between there action. Because I think we got about an extra like 1/2 to 3/4 inch than we need. All right, I want to let you guys be able to hear what the car sounds like a little bit, so I'm gonna have Kyle jump out and just drive by the camera a couple times. Going very fast and then going very slow. Now, I've never had a high-powered all-wheel drive car before, so I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm just going to turn the steering wheel to the left and floor it. There go our snow tires. All right, we're out of here. All right, guys, that's where I'm going to call it a wrap up. I got an alignment appointment in 10 minutes, so I'm going to head off. Tomorrow, we start the road trip down to California, and we'll see how this thing does on a 1,000-mile road trip down to California. 800K subs by St. Patrick's Day, $1,000 giveaway. We're trying to hit 800K, guys. If you're watching this, I would love if you subscribe. So I'm giving away $1,000 to one of our subscribers. All you got to do is email me, not at the personal email, not on the website. Just email enter@bisforbuild.com, and in that email, in the subject line or in the message, just tell me your YouTube username. That's all you got to do to be entered. And one of those lucky people that emails me is going to win $1,000, and we draw it at 3 p.m. Pacific time on St. Patrick's Day, probably from that Irish bar right behind me. So it'll be a very happy St. Patrick's Day for somebody. So please subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, we got merch and stuff at bsforbuild.com. Other than that, I'll see you guys when I update you on how this car did. If we make it to California or if not, I'll see you then. Peace!
Come on!